My hair looks nice in the sun. Isn't that pretty? Be better without that shadow. And there we go. I like this. So I'm sitting in the sun trap deck, and guess what? I'm all alone. I am. All the grandchildren, all the children, the husband, everybody is elsewhere. And here I am, enjoying the sunshine. Oh my gosh, it's like when the sun comes out, it's like the open sign is on all the doors. Open! You can come out now. You can come into the outdoors now. But when the sun is not shining, it's like there's a closed sign on all the doors. No, no, don't go out. No, it's closed out there right now. Isn't that interesting? I like it when I have these little aha moments. So I've been accomplishing a few things. I went and got a load of wood. I did. For 40 bucks, I got a big bundle that fits in my long trailer. And it's not paper thin, and it's not 1-inch boards, but it's like a centimeter in places, which is a little more than a half an inch. Is that right? I think so. No, a centimeter is 2.2 inches. No, I don't know. Whatever. Anyway, so there's some that are thin and some that are thicker, which is why they are being sold so cheaply, because they're really, you got to do a lot to square them up if you're going to square them. But what I wanted a few things. Like, you remember my bandsaw boxes? Remember this? Remember when I made that? There's videos, Nancy Today bandsaw box. Well, this is the box that was inside a bigger box that I made. And I was using 4x4, what was it called? Pressure treated 4x4, something like that. And so, what did he say? What did he find? Oops, where do we go? Where are we? There we are. Okay, so I wanted to be able to make some more of these. So sometimes you get a piece that's really thick on one end and then it tapers off to regular size. Well, those boards, you could take a chunk and you could make bandsaw boxes out of them. I really enjoyed bandsaw boxes. I've been thinking about which hobbies do I have in my life and which ones I want to do. And making bandsaw boxes was really enjoyable. So I think that's the one I want to do. I think that's a good one. I don't think I want to do a lathe. And I don't really feel like pottery, but when I get that kiln outside and in a cement enclosure, just like Minecraft, when I get that done right over there, and I moved one log there for one of the corner pieces. Anyway, when I get that done, then maybe I'll start feeling like doing pottery. I have too much wood stored in there. And I need to decide with each piece of wood, am I going to use that in here, yes or no? If it's no, it goes out. And if I am going to use it in there, how many do I actually need and how many do I have? And the rest should go out. And then I can just deal with the amount that I need for the job that's in there. The rest of it can be covered up in tarps outside. I think that's a perfect solution. I have some outside already covered in tarps, which is very good wood. And it's still very good covered in tarps. These are the tarps you get in the garbage behind Home Hardware, where they have covered up the lumber that's being delivered to the lumber yard. Those big rectangular bundles of lumber. Which is about twice the size of what I get for 40 bucks. The whole bundle. I just load these bundles because you can cut off odd ends and use them for signs. And I want to do this house in a nautical theme, as Chat GPS called it. I want to pretend that I'm living on a cruise ship. And so I'm swinging, and those are the waves out there, and the sun is shining on me. You know, you can pretend anything, right? So if it's winter, you have to pretend you're somewhere where you love it. I mean, a lot of people, it's a lot of trouble to actually go there, right? But if you can pretend that you're at a really cool place, which is plausible, and you can have signs about, the need for hanging onto the railing when there's turbulent weather, or that there is turbulent seas today. Caution, red flag day. Oh, yes, we could have a red flag here. That's right. No, a black flag day. Nobody in the water. Because I mean, look at the slope. Down and way up and then up again. I mean, it's like a tidal wave coming. So I like pretending. I have at times in the winter when the sun was out pretended that my feet were in the sand at the beach. And the tingling in my feet was not cold, but instead it was the heat of the sand, the hot sand. The hot sand must really do a good thing for your feet. When you think about reflexology and all that stuff that's supposed to end in your feet, I don't know if it's true or not. It's very interesting, and some people are absolutely convinced with it, but I'm not sure that I have anything to really depend my knowledge on. So I haven't had it and found that it works. So whatever. So here you are standing in the hot sand, bare feet. We are looking for your flip flops in your bag frantically because the sand is so hot. And then you get your flip flops on, and then it's better. But you still feel the heat through your flip flops. And as you walk barefoot in the hot sand, you're the reflexology, like all the pressure points on the bottom of your feet, everything is getting heated up. So there's a reason why people go to the beach, why people flock to the beach. I mean, if it were just for the sun, you could do that in your yard. If it were just for the water, you could do it in the pool. But it's for the sun and the water and the smells of suntan lotion and the heat on your back and laying on a towel, having turnover time, getting really hot and running into the ocean and snorkeling and seeing really cool stuff. Yeah, there's no place where I've done that, where I've gone running into the ocean, that I've seen really cool stuff. Except of course in Mexico at Isla de las Mujeres, which I'm not sure where it is. Isla de las Mujeres. I don't know, is that the west shore or the east shore? Where was I on the east shore? Let's see, not down there. I went to Cancun. No, that's not the same place. And then you go down, and then it comes up and around, and it's the Yucatan, and I've been there and there. And then it continues to go down, and I didn't go down there, but coming up the other side, I was in Acapulco. Was it from there that we went to Isla de las Mujeres? Was that a press trip from Tianguis? No, from Tianguis I went to Agua Calientes, and the one that starts with a P, I don't remember what it was. Anyway, so I came up the side at Acapulco and then Mazatlan, and I think that's all of the exterior. And then the name was just there. It starts with a P. P-A? No. P-E? P-I? P-O? Maybe P-O or P-U. No, I think it's P-O. P-O-A, P-O-B, P-O-C, P-O-D. Poe. It's like Pocentilli or something, but that's not the right word. Anyway, I seem to be taking a long time trying to figure out. But the point is that you can pretend anything. And once you start pretending it, you can pretend other things, that the smells go with it, or the sounds, or the views. And so I've decided that this is a beautiful big houseboat. Google houseboats. You could find a boat like this and on the water. And it's got a perfect railing for a ship. So it's nice and high around. And we have all these bells and whistles. All these places where you could stand and fish. You know, you catch your stuff. We're gonna have life jackets on the walls. You know, a life ring. Gotta be ready. Gotta be ready to throw it. Maybe some bumpers on the side of the ship. Buoys that hang down. Big, huge, thick nautical rope. Now, where am I gonna get that? You know, like I think that this project of turning this house into a houseboat, I think that this is a very long-term project, which is good because it's some little imaginary thing that I can do and I can have fun with it. You know, it's like when I made those snowmen down by the highway and then I said it was a semi-annual snowman's retreat, had a big sign to that effect. And then there came another sign that said fishing derby. And so then all the fishermen, all the snowmen held sticks, and hung from those sticks were woven fish with my basketry brushes. So I'm good at the art of pretending and of involving people around me in it. And so I like the idea of turning this house into a boat. I like that. Putting up signs that let you know this is the bow and this is the stern and this is the helm and port side and starboard and the down in the whatever that's called. We don't have a basement here, do we? No. We have a little tiny crawl space, which is kind of a cool place to go if you're little. Once you get bigger and bigger and bigger, it's not so much fun. Avy used to be our little one. He was 3 when we moved here, so he'd just get right down in there. And I think Daniel was claustrophobic down there. I don't know. There were times that I was in positions under the floor. I have all these gallon jars full of food down there. And if the bugs have not gotten into them, there's a lot of good food down there. There's sugar and soybeans and rice and wheat, beans, white beans. There's a lot of stuff down there. I'd say there's 50 jars now. Yeah, I'd say so. 10 rows, 5 in each row, or I don't know how many rows of them there are, all under the living room floor, just in case anybody's ever hungry and the house is abandoned and nobody knows about it. You know, it's interesting to have thoughts that come to you naturally about getting rid of your stuff. Like seeing that as you lose energy and as you lose movement, as pain levels change, and aging sets in and you slow down. As that happens, I think also what happens is you start to notice your mortality, and you can see the end from here, right? You can never see the end from the beginning, or for all the way through my life. I could never see the end. but I can see the end from here. Just interesting. And so my stuff is not very important. And so I'm like I've got a lot of stuff that isn't mine. It's my relatives' stuff. And I have it so that my children will have it, but I also love it while I'm having my own. I never really spent much time in the house before, except winters. Canada and winters is here in the house. Can't believe the sun is shining on me. Ah, I love the sunshine. It's such a different, the brightness of a sunny day and the darkness of a gloomy day is so many light amounts difference. Watts, or how would you quantitate the amount of light in the sky at any time? So the brightness of the sun, if you have a very, very clear air, very, very clear air, and then the sun is very bright. But even at its brightest right now, if you look at me, I'm not lit up like the summer sun. It's much. It's like a shadow is over the sidewalk, right? It's like a shadow is over me, and so you can see the sunshine, but there's a bit of, and that's because we're on the top of the earth. We've tilted. We're not the very top, but we're 45 degrees north, and so the earth is tilted so far from the sun where we are. It doesn't go up overhead at all. You can see it out your car side of your car window the whole time the sun is up. It comes right in the side windows. When it's at high noon, it's coming in the side window of your door, your car. Today I went upstairs. I have that beautiful room upstairs, and we've got some gardening happening up there. And I have a library of my church stuff, but I should arrange it so that it's a library that I can sit at, a comfortable place to sit there and read church books and scriptures and all that stuff, instead of like it's all stored behind other stuff. You know, I should do that. I'll go up there and play with that. Sounds like a really good plan. I've also been thinking about all these papers I brought home from my mother's, which are their heritage, but none of the kids know these people. But they may want to know about them, so I want to keep these papers. Like my Aunt Laura's will. There was a whole lot of lawyer stuff because the stuff that was in her name was actually her brother's. And the whole family knew that. And when she died, then it was anyway, so they had to all go to the lawyers and say, no, we don't want it split up equally. It's his. It all goes to him. And, or little bits to them, but it was his. Anyway, and the lawyer wasn't used to stuff like that. It was a very nice family. They were a very old family, the Hamlins and the Jacksons, the Jewetts and the Jarvises in northwestern Connecticut. And they went way back. They were statesmen and things like that, and councilmen. And they went back through Massachusetts and some in Rhode Island, but mostly I think in Connecticut. And then anyway, so all these people, I've got books of the people of Litchfield County, and many of them are my ancestors. It's very interesting. And Mary grew up there right in the midst of the ancestors, and she knew the ancestors, but I didn't. We went south to Georgia. The whole family was up here, or was up in New York, and in Connecticut, right across the Hudson River. I think there's a Hudson River in it. Anyway, following my father's side of the family, and he was a first generation American, and his parents were both born and raised in Canada, and they didn't go to the United States until he became a doctor. It's a typical brain drain that happens in Canada, you know. Give them great schooling, and then away they go. Anyway, so that's where what happened. My grandparents came down. They came to New York, but the rest of the family was still in Ontario, in southern Ontario. They came from Blair, in Cambridge and Preston, and well, my grandparents both lived in Blair, and I saw their houses. That was quite a nice thing that this man did. He took me all around and showed me where my ancestors all lived. I can't imagine trying to figure it out now. But I know, and I should show my children too. I did show them something, but it's getting more important because I can see the end from here. And they're starting to see my end from here too. It's not near, but it's you know, we are moving in that direction. So anyway, so I was thinking, wouldn't it be nice to have that big room as a nice sitting room with the couches, the short couches up there or something, and being able to read from the books there and get all those papers. I have this big long metal thing, and in it you can fill it with whatever you want and keep it under the bed. And I thought, what about all these papers, all these ancient papers? I could put them all in that chest. I think they might fit. If they do fit, look at what that will do to the upstairs room. Right now it's piled high with boxes. Is this interesting to you? How in the world did we get talking about this? Well, anyway, this is my life. Some of my thoughts at the moment. Look at that. 3 people watching and 4 thumbs ups. Bless your hearts. You're so nice to me. Not that it matters. It's just that, it's a dopamine rush, right? Oh, look, somebody's watching. But you know what? If there were like 100 people watching, I couldn't just be this laid back and relaxed about everything, right? No, I would be a bit nervous. I wouldn't be able to talk very well. Be myself. Hi.
Hey, darling, where are you?
I'm out here on the sun trap deck, on the swing, making a video. Hello, what's in your bag?
Oh, my laptop.
Oh, yes.
I took it over.
Did you have a nice time with them?
Fine, they were totally
Involved in their own stuff.
In there.
Okay, so I went and I got the wood.
Yeah, I see so. Yeah. Good.
Yeah, and I brought your